Time frame, images of a generation. We grew up in a simpler time. We sang.
Say, kids, what time is it? M-I-C-K-E-Y-M-O-U-S-E.
We laughed.
Hello, boy.
I can't believe I ate that whole thing.
We cried.
President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot.
We fought. We loved. We were attacked.
Japanese have attacked Pearl Harbor, Hawaii by air.
Our flag was still there. Now these memories come to life on posters that can be yours today. Go to howdyboomy.com for your copies today. That's howdyboomy.com. howdyboomy.com.
Welcome to the Howdy Boomy Show. You know, I might have had a unique experience in growing up as a kid as far as the education goes. I went to a all-Catholic education starting with grammar school. I was taught by nuns. I didn't have lunch there. There was no cafeteria. So basically what happened was you got out at 5 minutes to 11. You went to 11 o'clock Mass. At 11:30 you were on your way home. At 12:30 you were back in the schoolyard. At 12:45 you were in class. You were let out of school roughly at 3 o'clock. High school, normal high school, Catholic, all-male Catholic high school, cafeteria, etc. In none of the schools that I have a school nurse. In none of them that I have a school psychologist. So things have changed quite a bit. They become more of a nurturing of people as far as students go, more of replacing the parents. And what's happening is the education is becoming more personal as far as things that parents should be discussing with their children as far as sex education, as far as the ethnic breakdown of our country, as far as how our country was founded, what our country stands for. And all this, I think, have been slowly eroded by the educational system we now have. It starts with the school board, and they have elections, I would guess, every 2 years. But unlike a general election, usually the only people that vote for school board members are teachers. They try to control what's going on. They want to make sure that they're taken care of. So it's very unusual that you will get a school board election where more than 15% of the total possible voters would show up. So in the first place, about reforming your school, worried about what they're teaching, is starting to show up for educational voting in your school boards and actually attending meetings and letting them know how you feel. Control the money. They get their money. I've never seen a school budget go down from one year to the next. Never. In a million years, I have never seen a school budget decrease in dollar amount, which is sort of amazing. I'll give you an example. I'm in the Buffalo, New York area. I first moved out here in the 70s. There were probably, let's say, around figure, 100,000 kids in the educational system here in the Buffalo Public Schools. And let's say their budget was $500 million. Now there are half that many, if their budget's well over $1 billion. But the amazing part is the administration, the school board president, his assistants. They have assistants to assistants to assistants to assistants. What it is the Board of Education has become an employment agency for families of the Board of Education. It is an amazing statistic. If you take a look at it, investigate the dollar amount in your school board, investigate what it was 20 years ago. More importantly, investigate the manpower, investigate how many people you have working there. It is a gravy train. They want to take care of the teachers so the teachers can take care of them. It's one continuous cycle. And the only way to change it is to go after the money and constantly bug them about what's going on. I know it's difficult, but now that we had this pandemic and at home you saw what was being taught because the kids stayed home and everything was visual over the computer and you had to educate them, and what they were teaching in school is not entirely what you would teach them at home. We're not the problem of the world. We're not a racist country. They should not be saying, use any bathroom you want. Do you feel like a boy today? Do you feel like a girl today? They should not be teaching such education that's contrary to what the parents would do. But they're doing it because they can. You have to stop them from doing that. Show up at the meetings, bitch and moan about it, write the newspapers, write the people who are handling the money as far as the politicians go that dictate school board budgets. Let them know exactly how you feel, and sooner or later, step by step, you can start taking the educational system back and having it work in the way it was intended to. More shootings in school. Schools now have gates, they have metal detectors. It's an amazing situation, but that's what our society has become to, because as I've said in previous podcasts, everything begins at the kitchen table. And if you cannot raise your child at home, if your child does not have a two-parent family that cares, don't expect a great outcome when they go to school. I'm sure there are shootings every day in the United States at schools. We see it every day. And you try to do the best you can to cope with it, but you can't. And even if I ran a city, I would have cops all over the schools right now. I would do that for 10 years. It's going to cost you a ton of money, but you're going to save a generation. You're going to want to make them know that a school is a safe place. A school can be a place that you learn. Don't have to worry about leaving school. Don't have to worry about gangs outside of school. You're going to have cops all over the place. So sooner or later, as years go by and they become more educated and people show up for school, the society will be better off, no matter what the cost, as far as having police officers in each school to stop the senseless shooting, to stop the fighting, to make people know it's safe. I had a couple buddies of mine in the city of Chicago in the 70s do substitute teaching while they were going out to law school. They took guns. I mean, only 40% of the kids show up. And those that showed up, half of them were in the back of the classroom planning about how they were going to beat the hell out of somebody or cause some harm. So you have to make the school a safe place. You can't blame the teachers for the lack of results. Listening to a politician who may be running for president next time around, he was talking about how the reading scores are bad, how the math scores are worse. Well, guess what? You can't teach an empty chair. Kids have to show up. Teachers have to be able to teach students. The parents have to get involved. That's why the educational system basically is broken. Number one, it starts with the kitchen table. Parents have to get involved. Make the school safe. Make them teach what was this country founded on, the way the forefathers actually meant it to be, not how the woke generation or people now think it should be. You teach history. You teach math. 1 and 1 is always 2. Christopher Columbus wasn't a racist. I don't think he was. He came in and discovered our country. It's just an amazing situation where now everybody is a bad guy. I don't know what indigenous people are, but they substituted that for Indian. Indians should be proud of their heritage. The school board has to be made aware of how you feel. You've got to rattle some cages all the way around by letters to the editor, going to meetings, publishing what the school board makes, what individual makes. How many people on the school board have friends, relatives working for the Board of Education? Start ironing that out. Embarrass them. Make sure that they know you are not happy with how things are going, that this is the greatest country in the world, and teaching our kids otherwise, or teaching sex education the way it should be taught, as normal people would teach it, not bending over backwards to satisfy the fringe group, the gay, lesbian, A, B, C, D, whatever group they are. Let them have their piece, let them be recognized, but don't bring them to the forefront and try to tell everybody that it's normal, because it is not. Teach education the way it was supposed to be written in the history books years ago. I see where our vice president is in Africa with a bag full of money. You couldn't pay me enough to go to Africa, but she has a bag full of money, paying people there to confiscate, I can't say confiscate, to mine all the minerals that we're going to need to supply this farce of clean energy, electric cars, whatever they are going to call it. We're bribing them. And I would like to know what these industries are. I would like to know how many politicians know about this, who back this. I would like to know if they have invested in these industries, because I guarantee you the Biden family has. I guarantee you the Pelosi family has. It's just an amazing situation. Follow the money. We have the best White House, the best administration that money can buy. And that is a scary situation. It's a scary situation that we have a Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, who is totally incompetent. She is the best insurance policy that Joe Biden has about remaining president, because nobody, even her own party, doesn't want to see her anywhere near the White House. Unless, of course, you need somebody to go up to the microphone and giggle, because that's about all she's good for. Enjoy the day, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, this is the greatest country in the world. We're going to make it great again, by attacking the woke generation, the woke philosophy, and bring us back to the days where we realize this is a great country. It always needs work. We're not perfect, but we're not the great evil. We're not phony. We speak from the heart. We love this country. We love how it was founded. It wouldn't be having people try to swarm our borders if it was that bad, would it? That's what common sense tells you. God bless you. God bless America. We'll see you tomorrow.